Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com as well as the YouTube channel and NoDQ&A videos affiliate ringsidenews.com. For those of you in the United States, I hope you had a good Thanksgiving holiday. For those of you that are crazy enough to do the Black Friday deal, good luck to you. Hope you're having fun and you're safe. And maybe some of you out there are taking a break from your holiday shopping and you're eating to check out NoDQ&A videos, so I thank you for that. Got your questions here from spring.me/AaronRift. First one today comes from Popcorn Shower. Hey Aaron, with the Authority out of power, do you think creative could go with an angle to potentially bring them back? Example, having all the faces win so it gets boring and predictable, or having technical issues that are attributed to them not being there. Well, I had this really crazy theory that maybe WWE is going to purposely have bad shows every week and use that as a way to bring back the Authority. Maybe after the anonymous Raw GM shows up and does its deal as the general manager, maybe we're going to have Mike Adamle. If Mike Adamle comes back in a few weeks, then we know where WWE is going with this, that they're going to purposely make the shows as much of a train wreck as possible in order to bring back the Authority. I do think they're going to be back at some point. I mean, definitely Triple H is going to be back for a big WrestleMania match, whether it's against Sting or somebody else. I'm guessing it'll be Sting. But I do think Triple H will be back for the WrestleMania build, and there will be some sort of power struggle. How WWE gets to that point, that should be interesting because, as Vince McMahon mentioned at Survivor Series, the only way the Authority can be brought back is if John Cena reinstates Triple H and Stephanie. Does this mean a John Cena heel turn? I doubt that very much, but you never know. Who knows where it's going to go? It is intriguing, but I do think we will see Triple H and Stephanie back sometime sooner than later. All right, this one comes from Chris Mace 39628. Or 6, yeah, I said it right, 628. Who do you believe should beat Rusev for the U.S. title, and should it be at WrestleMania 1 when he loses the belt? Well, Rusev obviously cannot stay undefeated forever. He has to lose at some point, and WrestleMania seems like a logical place for him to lose the title, and the American finally overcomes Rusev at the biggest WWE show of the year. I like that idea. I think that that would be a wise booking decision to have Rusev suffer his first loss at WrestleMania. Now, who beats Rusev? I've heard a lot of names thrown around. Ryback, for instance, he's starting to build up momentum again as a babyface. He could be the one to end Rusev's reign of terror. I hate to say it, but if I had to make a prediction right now, I would not be surprised if John Cena ended up being the guy to end Rusev's undefeated streak. I just have this weird feeling, especially if John Cena doesn't have a big opponent for WrestleMania. And I'm not sure who he'll be facing at this point. Not really sure what direction WWE's going with John Cena for WrestleMania. But if WWE wants to do something big with John Cena, they could have him be the guy that finally beats Rusev. And, of all the guys that have gone down to Rusev, I mean, none of them are at the level of John Cena. So John Cena could be that one guy that could take down Rusev. But then again, is WWE really going to put the U.S. title on John Cena? I don't think it would be the worst idea in the world because it could elevate the title and it keeps John Cena away from the WWE title picture, especially if Roman Reigns is the champion and you're going with Reigns versus Rollins and other feuds like that. You could have John Cena elevate the title for a while. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see and figure out what's going to happen with WWE and John Cena and Rusev and all that. But yeah, I would have Rusev lose the belt at WrestleMania 31. Got this question here. Yo, Aaron, should WWE bring back their old pay-per-views and get rid of the TNA one-night-only events? I don't think it's a matter of them wanting to bring back the pay-per-views. It's a matter of them not being able to bring back the pay-per-views because they just can't afford to do so right now. I think that everybody realizes, especially the people in TNA, that you need to have those pay-per-view events. It's important to have a big event every month, something that you can build up to on television. It's a format that has worked for decades, and ever since TNA started dropping the pay-per-views, the overall interest in TNA has drastically decreased. I mean, there's nothing really to look forward to. I mean, TNA has done these special events on Spike TV, but it's just not the same. So I think that if TNA could bring back the old pay-per-views, they absolutely would. I mean, that is an ideal situation. Although, with the WWE Network now, it's hard to say if TNA will ever be able to charge $40 again for a pay-per-view. Why would somebody pay $40 for a TNA show when they can get tons of wrestling content on the WWE Network for just $9.99? So it's really hard to say, but in a perfect situation, TNA would be able to bring back the pay-per-views, at least on a larger scale than what they're doing right now, which is practically no pay-per-views. Even Bound for Glory wasn't a live show. So I'm hoping TNA can get back in some kind of groove with the pay-per-views, at least 4 or 5 live pay-per-views in the calendar year. I'm hoping they'll be able to get back to that at some point. The one-night-only events, I mean, nobody watches those shows. It's practically a waste of time. So I'm really hopeful that in 2015, TNA can continue to rebuild and rebrand and eventually bring back old pay-per-views, and maybe they'll have to change the pricing, maybe they'll have to change the format, but at least bring back some of those live big events, something that they can build up to for fans. All right, this one comes from Calvin Bowman 1. Hey Aaron, what was your favorite Eddie Guerrero match? Mine would have to be from WrestleMania 20 when he took on Kurt Angle. It was one of the greatest matches ever. Want to know what you think? Answer in video. Well, I think my all-time favorite Eddie Guerrero match would have to be the No Way Out match against Brock Lesnar when he finally won the world title. I mean, that was an epic moment right there. And as you mentioned, also the WrestleMania 20 match, because it was WrestleMania and Eddie Guerrero successfully defended the title. Going back earlier to WCW, I really enjoyed the Eddie Guerrero match with Rey Mysterio at Halloween Havoc 97. And there were some other ones, but those would be my top 3. Almost any Eddie Guerrero moment is a favorite moment for me. I mean, I'll say that much. All right, this one comes from CPW1978. Aaron, NoDQ.com had an article featuring Bully Ray speaking on possible singles run in WWE. Does this seem feasible? A Bubba versus Cena feud would make for entertaining TV and matches. What do you think? I think I've mentioned this before about Bully Ray. I think that it's likely he'll be back in WWE one day, but I think that if he comes back and has one more run, it's not going to be a singles run. It'll be with Devon as the Dudley Boys having one last run as a tag team, similar to what the New Age Outlaws did this past year. You know, I could very well see that happening with the Dudley Boys coming back and having one more run as a tag team. I don't think WWE is going to invest in Bully Ray as a singles competitor. They're going to want to have the nostalgic feel, and that's with the Dudley Boys, bringing them back as a tag team and having them go for the tag team titles one more time. That is a storyline that I think WWE would see as marketable compared to Bully Ray as a singles star. I mean, he really didn't do much as a singles competitor in WWE, and obviously they're not going to mention his TNA run. So I think it's likely he'll be back, but it'll be with Devon as the Dudley Boys again. All right, got this question here from Wrestling Do 95. Aaron, with Kevin Steen, Kenta, and Prince Devitt now with WWE, do you see a possible chance of AJ Styles signing with the company? Much respect to your show. I think it's more possible now. I mean, it's definitely a possibility because AJ Styles has similar abilities to those guys. Some would say AJ Styles is the best unsigned wrestler in the world right now that's not in WWE. I mean, a lot of people would make that argument. And the fact that some of his colleagues like Kevin Steen and guys that he worked with on the indies are making it in WWE, I mean, that should increase the chances, one would think. But then again, WWE might see AJ Styles as tainted goods, a guy who was in TNA, a secondary promotion, and they might not want to put the marketing machine behind him. You know, he's been around for a long time now, and I think WWE wants to focus on guys that haven't been in TNA, that are younger, that they can mold and make into their own superstars. You know, AJ Styles has been used to his own style, so to speak, for so long now. He has his own way of doing things, and I don't know at this stage of the game if he's going to want to change himself for WWE and make himself a WWE superstar. He didn't want to do it 10 years ago. Why would he do it now when he's doing just fine on his own without WWE or TNA for that matter? All right, got one more question here from Joao Felipe 315. Hey Aaron, do you think that The Miz versus Sandow would be a good match for WrestleMania 31? Sure, why not? I think it's too soon to break up the team, and obviously they just won the tag team title, so there's still some mileage with this tag team, but eventually it's going to get stale and it's going to be time to split them up. 4 or 5 months around WrestleMania, I think would be a fitting time to break them up. I could see them maybe holding on to the tag team titles until WrestleMania and then losing them, and then they go on their feud and split or whatnot. Or you could break them up sooner and then have them face off at WrestleMania. But yeah, I would be perfectly fine with that match for WrestleMania 31. Sure, why not? I just don't know where the two of them go after that. I don't know what the future holds for Damien Sandow. I mean, I'm guessing he'll turn face on The Miz and go back to being a serious character again. So it's really interesting to see what will happen with both of those guys once the tag team splits up. All right, that'll do it for this edition of NoDQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest regarding WWE and TNA. Stay tuned this week for the NoDQ.com year-end awards. And I will see you guys next time for more NoDQ&A video.